What is a typical day like with a narcissist? Well, in a word, it's lonely. That's right, lonely. Let me tell you, at least this was the way I experienced it. You wake up with another person in the house and go about your morning, the usual ritual of showering, clothing yourself, and having the first cup of coffee. Although you're not alone, technically speaking, you feel alone. Because there is no true emotional intimacy, you are your sole caretaker. One must be fiercely and ridiculously independent and self-reliant. Or alternately, malleable and extremely dim. Conversation floats at the surface. That is safe. As an introvert with a hefty disdain for parlor talk, it was often painful to engage. But you have learned rather quickly that taking communication to unplumbed depths leads to quizzical glances and what feels like contempt. Whatever plagues you, problems at work, problems with an ailing parent, problems with your health, is not to be brought to the table and discussed. You cannot be perceived as remotely problematic. Communication is really challenging. Scratch that, there is no communication, you're talking at each other. When talking with a narcissist, you must say what they want to hear. You figure this out via trial and error. So there's no spontaneity, because you have to be one step ahead of them, always contemplating how to respond in a way that makes them feel validated. It's a lot like playing chess, because you have to anticipate what they'll say next, and how you'll respond to that, and so on. Pointing out that what they said was hurtful, astonishing, or a trait or offering constructive feedback is not a good idea, as in ever. You already know that you're going to do what they want to do. They set the agenda. Today, let's do something that you enjoy isn't in a narcissist's dictionary. It is something that we'll notice over time. Everything revolves around their likes and dislikes. They pick the restaurant. Even if you like the restaurant and would have picked the same one, the niggling problem is, they got to choose it, not you. They choose where you go and what you do together. You know those folks who take their dogs everywhere? That's what you feel like, a devoted pet, carted around just for company. Not a human being with complex thoughts and feelings. Okay, to be fair, every now and then, you do get to choose the joint activity. When this happens, you approach it with a strong dose of skepticism. What does your partner want? Something, that's for sure. Or maybe not. Are they secretly resentful, making mental hash marks to use against you later? The answer to this is, yes, they are. For me, the typical day usually involved a temporary escape, going out for a walk or running errands so I could meet a friend. Sometimes I'd drive my car around the block, park it, and make phone calls. This was particularly true when I was going through a challenging time and needed a trustworthy sounding board. But I also needed to connect with someone with whom I could just be myself. Some call this walking on eggshells. It went deeper than that for me, as I found myself quashing my innate personality and aping the room temperature/milquetoast persona that he found appealing, reserved, without strong opinions, and emotionally contained, but at the same time pleasant. So incredibly king pleasant, like one of those creepy robotic dolls that blinks and talks in a Siri voice. A construct. Oh, and also pretty. That was the only way I'd get a compliment. You wake up and put on your poker face. You cannot display any weakness, vulnerability, imperfections, or physical discomfort. You cannot express negative feelings or say anything that could remotely be construed as criticism. Believe me, someone with NPD can find hidden meaning in the most innocent remarks, hence the need for parlor talk. You can't be yourself. You are like Star Trek's Enterprise entering Klingon space, shields are up. Each very mundane but highly structured day, you wonder if this is going to be the day you finally crack. That's what makes the typical day with a narcissist really lonely.